Have you ever wondered how the last year of life begins? It doesn't start with a specific day, and there are no obvious signs. There's no knock on the door saying you have just 12 months left. It often starts with one morning when you don't feel like having breakfast, or an afternoon when you end up wearing the same clothes as yesterday and sit on the couch, not wanting to do anything. Or maybe a whole week goes by where you don't switch on outside because it's a little chilly. These small, seemingly normal things could actually be your body's quiet way of signaling something more serious. The truth is, many people don't pass away due to sudden, intense pain, but because of a series of subtle disappearances, drifting away from meals, sunlight, conversations, and eventually from the life they once knew and loved. The scariest part isn't when death comes quickly, it's when it comes slowly, in ways we don't notice. So are you missing the signs? In this video, I'll share 5 signs that most people overlook. But according to research and elderly care experts in the US, these often show up in the last year of life. The good news is, if caught early, you or your loved ones can still make small changes to turn things around. If this video resonates with you, please leave a like and follow the channel, because sometimes small stories like these can save a whole life. Let's dive in. Sign number 1, loss of appetite in the morning. Have you ever woken up in the morning, not feeling hungry, and just wanting to stay in bed a little longer? Maybe you ended up skipping breakfast altogether. At first, this might seem like a normal habit, but if it starts happening often, it could be one of the first signs that your body is starting to fall out of sync. Have you noticed lately that in the mornings you just don't feel hungry? Not because you ate too much the night before, but simply because you don't feel anything at all. No craving for toast, no desire for milk, and even the smell of coffee doesn't wake you up like it used to. While it might seem trivial, this is actually one of the first signs that the body is entering what doctors call conservation mode. This means your body is slowly withdrawing from life's usual demands. The sensation of hunger is controlled by survival hormones. When we're healthy, our body naturally signals when it's time to eat to keep our energy up. But when hunger fades, it could signal that metabolism is slowing down, and the body isn't prioritizing recovery anymore, something that's especially dangerous for people over 70. A study from Harvard found that older adults who experience a diminished appetite for more than 3 weeks are at times more likely to be hospitalized compared to those who continue to feel hungry in the mornings. Take Mr. Bill, for example. He's a retired teacher living in Portland who started skipping breakfast and only drinking a little water, thinking it was just a normal part of aging. One day he felt dizzy and fainted in the bathroom. Doctors diagnosed him with severe energy deficiency, muscle loss, and the early stages of frailty. It all started with that simple feeling of not being hungry in the morning. The scary part is that your body can weaken silently without any noticeable pain. But don't worry, sometimes a small change can reignite the life rhythm inside you. Try a warm slice of toast, a simple smoothie on the table, or even turning on the radio in the morning to help stir up an appetite that's been dormant. Sometimes it's not your stomach that's weak, it's just that your morning mood needs a little nudge. A small, simple meal is all it takes to remind your body that today is worth living, and you're still here. Sometimes a full breakfast isn't just about the food. It's a gentle reminder, a soft whisper telling your body that you're not ready to let go just yet. Beyond the feeling of hunger, there's another subtle sign we often miss: not changing clothes for several days in a row. Have you ever noticed those days when you just can't bring yourself to change out of what you're wearing? Not because you're lazy, but because deep down, you don't see a reason to dress up anymore. It's odd, isn't it? A person who once carefully picked out a shirt now wears the same outfit for days without a second thought. It could be sleepwear or an old outfit worn around the house. And at some point, what used to be a simple habit of choosing clothes becomes a sign of something more. Experts at UCLA point out that changes in self-care routines, like skipping a shower or wearing the same clothes, are often early warning signs of depression in older adults. It's not just about mood. It's a signal that someone may be pulling away from life itself. In a study conducted in Illinois, nearly 60% of people over 75 admitted to repeating the same outfit for several days in a row. Most of them said, "I don't need to change since I'm not going anywhere." But here's the worrying part. About 1/3 of these individuals were later diagnosed with signs of social isolation or mild cognitive decline. Take Martha, an 82-year-old widow living near Seattle. She used to dress up every day, even for something as simple as a grocery run. But after her husband passed away, she started wearing the same light green sweater all week. Her daughter noticed this during a video call and decided to visit. After a few heartfelt conversations, they went through her wardrobe together. And soon, Martha started wearing the spring dresses she used to love. The truth is, when we stop caring about how we look, it's rarely because we're carefree. Often it's because we're losing touch with ourselves and the world around us. If left unchecked, this can lead to a downward spiral of disinterest, skipping meals, avoiding social interaction, and sinking into a quiet space that can feel hard to name. But sometimes something as simple as choosing a clean shirt in the morning can bring us closer to life again. Maybe tomorrow when you wake up, try reaching for that shirt you wore during your last picnic in the park. Or the one your grandchild said, Byron, Grandma, Grandma, you look like a movie star in that. Even if you don't plan to leave the house, dress up for yourself, because sometimes taking care of your appearance isn't just about looking good. It's a way to remind yourself you're still here, still valuable, and still have another day to live fully. In addition to not changing clothes, another important red flag is staying inside for several days in a row. Have you noticed how many days it's been since you last stepped outside? Not because you're busy or the weather's bad, but simply because you don't feel the need to go out anymore. This seemingly harmless habit could actually be a subtle warning sign of something more serious. Doctors at UCLA have warned that when older adults stop getting regular exposure to natural light, their internal circadian rhythms get thrown off. The body no longer knows when to wake up or when to rest, which can lead to weakened immunity, restless sleep, and a mood that easily dips into a slump. Plus, early sunlight is a natural source of vitamin D, essential for strong bones, a clear mind, and preventing cognitive decline. Without it for too long, the body can become sluggish, the mind slow, and you might feel an inexplicable sadness without really knowing why. Dr. Gerald, 81, from the suburbs of Chicago, once said something that stuck with everyone. There was a time I went an entire week only seeing light from the TV, and then suddenly I felt like I disappeared from the world. If you or a loved one start feeling lazy about going outside, take it seriously. It's not real laziness. It could be a sign of slowly withdrawing from life. But here's the good news. Just one small step can make all the difference. It might be as simple as opening the window every morning, making yourself a hot cup of tea, or stepping out onto the porch for a few minutes. Or maybe it's as small as taking the trash to the end of the driveway and smiling at the mail carrier. The feel of the sun on your face, the breeze through your hair, those little things could be the last connection you have to life. Sometimes, to keep from losing ourselves, all we need to do is step outside and let the sun find us. If you're still watching and finding these ideas helpful, drop a 3 in the comments to let me know. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and click follow and turn on the bell so you don't miss any new videos. Your support means everything and helps us keep creating content that inspires and helps. Another important factor that can really affect your mental health is excessive silence in your home. The house is too quiet, no voices, no sounds of life. Have you ever noticed how strange it feels when your house is just too quiet? No radio playing your favorite songs from the 70s. No clinking of bowls or chopsticks in the kitchen. No one calling your name, even just to ask, would you like some tea? That silence, it's not peaceful. It's a form of isolation that creeps in so slowly, you don't even realize how unsettling it is until it fills every wall and corner of your home. Loneliness doesn't always come from being alone. It comes from the days we withdraw, ignore a few calls, skip a few appointments, and then one day, no one calls anymore. No one knocks on the door, and you can't even be bothered to answer it. A study from Harvard found that older adults living alone in quiet environments, without sounds like conversations, TV, or even footsteps, are 60% more likely to develop dementia in the next 5 years. It's not just the brain that suffers. The immune system, sleep, and mood are all deeply affected by a lack of sound. A Dr. George, 74, who lived alone in an apartment in Chicago said, "What makes me age is not wrinkles, but silence, was. Every morning I wake up and ask myself, will I hear someone call my name today?" After he started listening to the radio every morning, turning on the TV just to hear people's voices, and calling a friend once a week, he noticed his space felt brighter. He started laughing more. If we let silence take over, we don't just lose sounds, we lose our sense of alertness, connection, and the feeling of being part of the world. You don't need loud noise, just a quick call from a friend, a soft song playing while you cook, or even leaving the door ajar so the birdsong can drift inside. Those little sounds, they're the sounds of life, and hearing them means you're still here, you are still alive. Don't let your home become too quiet, because sometimes what makes us grow old isn't time. It's when nothing around us is moving anymore. And here's one last sign we can't ignore. When you often say, "I'm just a little tired," but never get it checked out. Have you ever noticed that sometimes tiredness comes and goes quietly, like the evening shadows falling on the porch? No pain, no fever, no obvious symptoms, just a little ache in your legs, a slight heaviness in your chest, or one day you find yourself getting up a little slower than usual. When someone asks, you simply shake your head and smile, saying, "I'm just a little tired." It might seem like nothing, but that phrase could actually be your body's way of sending out a final warning bell that you're not hearing. Doctors at the Cleveland Clinic point out that as we get older, our bodies don't always signal pain or symptoms the way they did when we were younger. The nervous system quiets down with age, making it easier to miss warning signs. Things like low blood pressure, anemia, or even internal infections. Unexplained persistent fatigue could be an early sign of something more serious, like heart failure, COPD, or even cancer. Take the story of Mr. Walter, an 82-year-old man from the suburbs of Chicago. For weeks, all he felt was exhausted every morning, or like he needed to sit down halfway through getting dressed. His daughter thought it was just part of getting older. But one day when he got short of breath climbing the stairs, he decided to get checked out. The diagnosis: severe anemia from a silent stomach bleed. The doctor said, if you'd waited just a few more weeks, it would have been too late. Prolonged, unexplained fatigue is like a soft shadow creeping through your life. It doesn't make a sound, but it drains your energy little by little. The good news is there are small, simple actions you can take to change everything. A general checkup, a blood test, asking your doctor to double-check just to be sure. It's not about making it a big deal, but about giving you the peace of mind to keep enjoying life with your loved ones and with a body that isn't silently suffering. Don't let the phrase, "I'm just a little tired," be the last thing you ever say. You've just heard about 5 signs that could be your body's final whispers. Small signs, but they can reveal something much bigger, that the time you have left is more precious than ever. Maybe you've noticed something familiar, something in your own behavior or in a loved one's that makes your heart sink a little, but also sparks a strong urge to take action today. Because sometimes just one call to check in, a lunch together, or simply sitting on the porch for 10 minutes in the sun can make all the difference in keeping someone with us a little longer. No one can live forever, but everyone deserves to live fully, even in their final years. And that often starts with a realization. Life is fragile, but it's also full of hope if we're willing to care enough. If something in this video made you think, please share it with someone you love. Try applying just one small change from today's video and see what happens. Or leave a comment below and share your thoughts, because sometimes it's the little things we say to each other that matter most. Thank you for watching until the end. I hope you and your loved ones experience a life full of love, health, and every day lived to the fullest.